some stuff, folding some clothes, and I thought I would create this video. Now, let me see how I look. I should have checked this out before. Anyhow, make sure you like and subscribe to Free Game. So, first of all, hello, good evening. I want to make sure that for anybody listening that does not know what a Roth IRA is, what an IRA is, that I make sure that I give, a little explanation. And I'm also going to give a little explanation about what you can do as a first-time home buyer with that money. Okay, so an IRA is an individual retirement account. Basically, it is consider it like somewhere that you can put your money for your money to grow, for your money to go and recruit more dollars by what's compounding. Okay, so the word compounding is basically this money is stacking up on the previous money. And then as the previous money gets bigger, now more stacks up based on that, and so on and so on. It's kind of like one of your dollars going out and recruiting 15 or 20 more dollars. And over time, all those dollars keep recruiting more dollars. And now you have amassed a great fortune, depending on how much you put in, right? Or how many dollars that you put in for them to go and recruit those other dollars. It's pretty much how any retirement account works, but especially an IRA. And there are two types. There's a traditional IRA and there's a Roth IRA. Think of traditional like it's going to cost you more in taxes right now up front. I'm sorry, not right now up front. That's a Roth. It's going to cost you more in taxes later when you go to get the money. Okay. Yeah. But the Roth IRA is going to cost you in taxes now, but not later when it's time for you to go get the money. Because you're putting money into that Roth IRA after you've paid your taxes. Okay, so basically a Roth is or any type of IRA is where you can grow your money over time. All right, so there is a piece that allows you to take this money out well before your retirement, but it's only a percentage or a small amount, and it is $10,000 or less. Okay, you can take out $10,000 or less out of your IRA, specifically referring to the Roth IRA. You can take specifically $10,000 out for a first-time home buyer. So let's say this is your first time buying a home. You are seeking some money to help you with the down payment. You are seeking help to help you with your earnest money, whatever that you're trying to do toward that home. You can pull that $10,000 from there. Now they won't issue it directly to you. Normally it's going to be issued to the loan servicer for the mortgage, because let's say they hand you the money and then you decide, oh, I want this house, right? Then it's not going toward the purpose that it's supposed to be for. Okay, so that's why it's not going to come to you. It's not going to come like don't think of it coming to you when it comes to this as like a line of credit or anything like that. Not the same thing. All right, but it's still, there to help you with this process. All right. So a lot of people might say, well, why not use that? You got $10,000 sitting over here. You trying to get this house? Why not? It sound good. $10,000 sound good, real good. Okay, but a lot of times, if let's say you don't have enough money in your purse or your wallet, You out and about, right? You at the mall, you shopping, okay? You don't have enough money on you, right? What you gonna do? You gonna go to the ATM, you gonna go grab some more money, but normally it is going to be from that same pot that you would have had the money from anyway, right? If you would have already went to the ATM before you came, or you brought your debit card before you came, okay, cool, right? But you're not gonna then go in your savings account and go get no money to go get this outfit, right? You're not gonna go in your savings account or your life savings or whatever to go get this thing. You probably gonna wait until you got some more money in that regular account, in that checking account, to go get this thing. Think of the house as that thing. A house is yet another thing that we purchase, right? A house that you're gonna live in. We're not talking about something that you buying for an investment property, or something that's part of your business. That's a totally different thing we're talking about. Okay, we're talking about your personal home, where you're gonna live, your dream house, or whatever, or your starter home. You want to make sure that you are treating this like it's just another thing, because if you treat it differently than that, you're going to put way more value in that than you probably should, and you might make a decision that could harm you later. All right, so here's reason number one why you should not use that $10,000 or any portion of that $10,000 as a first time home buyer. First and foremost, you are trying to build. If you take that money out, that is part of building, you're going to decrease your building. Okay? And it's going to take you some time to build that back up. And because of the fact that there are limits on how much you can contribute to an IRA, you probably don't want to take away from you building on that. And you're going to lose a significant amount of money in a short and long period of time by taking that out. Okay, that's reason number one. You're going to lose that money later on down the road. Um, I feel like that should be reason enough. But some people are not thinking about future them. I was just listening to something recently, and on like a podcast, and they were talking about, how when they were younger, they were already thinking about future them. But most people don't do that. So reason number one should be enough. You're gonna lose money, a lot of money in the future. Okay, um, if you have 10,000 in there, and you were to not make any more contributions to it that year, it's still going to be growing. Okay, considerably. Nobody has a savings account where they can put money in there, never put any more money into it, and then go back to it and there's more money there. That's what the IRA does for you. So for you to pull that out, you know that you're going to be losing money later. Reason number two, you probably can't afford that house as much as you think you can. You probably need to wait. Okay, um, because you are drawing for straws at this point. If you're thinking about utilizing that money, okay, if it's something that is going to is a need where you have to use that money. If you have to use that, you probably are not as ready to buy that home as you might think you are. Okay. Um, Now I'm gonna get to a reason why you can and why it's not that bad. But second one is that you probably are not able to afford that house as much as you think you are. Okay. Third reason is if you use that money Okay. You are proving to yourself that you were not able to have the patience to save your own money for the down payment, whatever it is. Okay. You're proving to yourself that you're not able to live under a certain means. Okay. There's no resilience there for you to be able to, whatever your situation is, or if you live in an apartment, you know, you roommating with somebody, can you get through that for, you know, an additional 6 months, a year, whatever? Can you? You really have to evaluate that. But if that's something that you're dealing with, you might want to deal with that first. Another reason why you should not do it is the first three reasons. I put five reasons because I feel like it would catch people out. But honestly, reasons 4 and 5 is really repeat step 1 and 2. Okay, seriously though, if you are trying to become a first time home buyer, you want to make sure that you have adequate savings. And this is savings outside of your investment money or your money in your IRA that's growing for you for your retirement. If you are drawing from that, anything from that, because you need to, you might want to rethink that, because you're buying a house is not, oh, we're renting a new apartment. This is buying a house. You're the landlord now. Everything is on you. So even if your mortgage is the same as your rent has been, or maybe a little bit less, still you have to think about, okay, you also have taxes, you have insurance, you have any type of what is that? Not homeowners insurance, but a home warranty you might have to pay for if that's not like included with the deal or something. Um, Repairs if you need it. You know, you can move in and a year later something happened with a major something like your furnace or something like that. You have to think about those things, right? It could not even be that. It could be a plumbing situation. It could a lot of expensive things happen. It could be in an electric situation. Whatever that is, it's on you. So if you don't have the funds, right? Or if let's say you have some funds and you have to pull from this, what you're supposed to be setting aside for your future in order to put on this home, well, you probably don't got that much in your savings. Because we should be trying to save, enough to at least sustain us for some months, let alone, 6 months to a year, really. But we already know, the average American don't even have $500 in their account. So if you need 5,000, 6,000, 10,000, whatever it is to close on a home or whatever, and you don't have that much and then some somewhere else, and you have to pull it from your investment account, this might not be the time. You might not want to do that, okay? Or maybe it's time to revisit, your finances, your budget, to see what you can do so that you don't have to do that, so that you don't have to take that alternative, okay? Now, here is what I will say about if you are going to use it, and a reason why that will make it okay. If that 10,000 accounts for a very small amount of what's in your IRA, then I say it might be okay. If that amounts for a small amount, like definitely less than 50%, I would say really, um, I really would say less than 10% of your IRA, of what the number is that's in there. Um, if you got 100,000 in there, okay, you might, be all right to take that on out of there. But if you got right at 10 or 20,000, let that money sit there. Let it do what it's gonna do, because you're gonna mess up the momentum of the compounding that's happening with the interest and the dividends and all those beautiful things that's happening for you. Your money is in there with muscles and is pulling more money from other places, from whatever the accounts are, that that the fund is invested in. You are reaping the benefits of that. So to take away from that, and you don't have an adequate amount in there, it's not the best idea. But y'all have a wonderful, beautiful evening. This has been Free Game. I hope you learned something. I'm not a financial advisor, but I do know a lot of things regarding finance and saving, investing, and whatnot, and what have you. So make sure that, of course, you run your situation by, someone, a trusted individual, your financial advisor, your CPA, or whoever that you trust regarding talking about your financial situation. Discuss it with your partner, your spouse, or whatever. Set all of these things out so that you can get a clear picture, a clear view of where you're going before you just, running. Ooh, it's $10,000 over there, and I'm just no. But you have a great evening. Toodles. Peace. Free game.